Welcome to the Can Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. This is Season 4, Episode 41, and we are right in the middle of our Rosé Roundup. And our can wine word of the day, which is the Rosé Roundup, is a part of our Cantastic journey. And we continue our Cantastic journey in France. But before we get to that and our can of the day, let's talk about our can wine nerd of the day, which is liner. What is a liner? Well, you may not realize it, but every can has a plastic liner inside it, as much as you would a plastic liner inside a box of wine. However, most of these are listed as being BPA free, so that's a good thing. That way, the acidic wine product doesn't go against the aluminum and cause any deterioration. It's protected by the can liner. So can liner is our word of the day, and our can of the day is right here. And we have our intrepid wine traveler Kenny, who today is not working but is vacationing pretty much in the same place that he would be working in the great north of Ontario. Are you there, Kenny?
I sure am, Bradley.
Great, and you've spared no expense packing this can of wine in your saddlebag as you boldly went where no man went, all the way across the hinterlands of the Keewatin region to ride your motorcycle out to where? Nestor Falls, is it?
Yeah, we're in Western Ontario, not far from the U.S. border. My wife and I, we rode here on my Harley, and we're vacationing at a beautiful resort at Nestor Falls. And so I brought my wine with me in my saddlebag, and I'm ready to enjoy it this evening. I'm just standing on my deck here right now, overlooking the lake. In the background is a whole bunch of young ravens that are squawking. They're trying to get attention from their mother. So if you hear squawking sounds in the background, don't be afraid.
Oh, we won't be. We appreciate your efforts. You've gone to get us that, and I'll throw in a couple pictures of you with the bike displaying your can, of course not opened, and pictures of you on the boat enjoying some fishing out in Ontario. And for what it's worth, and a bit of a history lesson, that Keewatin region was originally part of Manitoba, but when Manitoba became its own province, they decided that would be too much, and they gave that to Ontario. So that's the way it goes. Economically, though, it's very much tied to Manitoba, and as you know, you travel back and forth doing work in there, so economically, it's still part of Manitoba, even though geography-wise, it's the other side of the border. And what is our can of the week, Kenny?
It's Lumin Rosé.
Yeah, and where does it come from?
It's a French wine.
Exactly, and we have a 250 ml can, 12.5% alcohol by volume. It says that it's sustainably farmed. The French know a thing or two about wine and sustainable farming, so their little spiel here says the Mediterranean Sea, the wind and the sun are fundamental elements of our region and certainly a part of the terroir. They shape our wines and participate in our south of France art de vivre, enjoy. Well, je ne parle pas français, as I like to say, but it says it comes from Pays de Haut, which is in the south of France. Vis-a-vis-a-vous, like the song Take Me Away to Marseille. That's a classic song. I don't know if you remember it, but there's a lot of bar bands used to play Take Me Away to Marseille back in the day. And it does contain sulfites, but sulfites are naturally occurring. And there's a beautiful picture of a sailboat and a sunset maybe in the south of France. So that's very cool. And it's a rosé, so I'm expecting all of those good things. Are you ready to do the opening, Kenny?
I sure am, Bradley.
full. Well, I don't know if this is the light in here, but this is one of the palest rosés I've opened.
Yeah, that's here.
It barely achieves peach. I would say it's off-white if I had to say anything. One thing I do notice, it does have a very floral fragrance. I'm smelling a bit of red fruit, some citrus. Those French do have a way with wine. This is pretty tasty.
It's a nice wine.
Yeah. Excellent.
My wife would like this as well.
Yeah, and I think I picked this up in Manitoba at the MLCC as well. So good on them. I got this on my October trip, which I was able to get a few of them. And it does say that it's imported by Monsieur Touton in New York, New York. So there's a wine from New York that ended up in Manitoba and is being drank in Ontario. The Cantastic journey just never ends. Although it does end eventually, as we're churning along episode 41. We have a few more tricks up our sleeves, so to speak, and a few more rosés to go in this roundup, so we're excited about that. Now, what would you pair this with? Well, I don't know that it would go well with jackfish, but it could. It certainly would go good with seafood. Maybe some light fare, some sort of summer salads, or a Caesar salad would taste good with this. I really quite like this one. I would expect a stainless steel production method because it is very fruity. We're getting a little bit of line chatter, but that's not unusual when you're out in the wilderness. Got barking and snarking going on, plus the occasional raven calling to its mother in the background.
Yeah, it's sort of self-induced here because I'm trying to, when I'm not speaking, I try to mute so that I can eliminate that background noise of all my birds and ravens and chipmunks and everything else happening here all around me. It's wonderful to view, but it's probably not very good for as far as audio goes for your blog.
That's authentic. And you're jetting back to Winnipeg on the bike tomorrow. So that's, you can expect some northwest wind and a possible rain, it says. I hope not. I haven't checked in the last 15 minutes, but you know how the weather is.
Yeah, the weather's always against me when I'm riding. But yeah, they're calling for a strong south wind, so that'll help me for part of the way home, and then it'll be against coming in from the side of my face on the way home on the Trans-Canada Highway for 100 miles. So I'm not looking forward to that, but oh well. At least they're not calling for rain or anything scary. Just heavy winds, which I'm starting to get used to nowadays. It's either windy or very windy nowadays. It's climate change is real, and it shows off here with the winds. I noticed that when I was young, we didn't have crazy winds like this. Now it's either windy or very windy.
Yeah, and that's something that, as someone who has, been essentially working outdoors, since even before I came and worked for you in forestry, we worked on the farm, and you would have winds, 2 weeks in the spring and 2 weeks in the fall, right? And then it would be fairly not windy for the rest of the season, but it gradually is, the wind is increasing, and I think that is an evident of the evidence of the climate change. There's probably some highly technical term that relates to the movement of the jet stream. It's no longer just straight along the American border. It zips and zaps and really whips around now. And the weather is a lot more extreme than it used to be too. I mean, it would get cold and stay cold, and then it would warm up and be warm. Now it's all over the place. You were in the extreme heat advisory this week, and down in New York we were in the high 40s, if you can believe that. 47, which I think that's around 10 degrees, 9 degrees, something like that. So at any rate, if you don't think the climate's changing, you need to go back to the basement and look at your computer and do whatever you do, because you're not outside. If you're outside like we are, you're seeing things that are unusual as far as weather, insects, trees, the whole thing. It's interesting and a little disturbing to watch. But I'll drink to fair weather for you tomorrow, and I hope you have a great trip.
Yeah, thank you.
And our
right now, as I speak to you now, on my deck here, I got all these black flies crawling into my eyes and my ears and my nostrils. Man, oh man, I sure feel sorry for wildlife. The young deer and the young mammals. Man, oh man, they sure have a rough time this year with all these bugs.
Yeah, it's very stressful. And our shout out today goes out to all those brave people who are enjoying the podcast and have followed us through this season. It really has been a fantastic journey. And also out to Alan Green in the international competition. I don't think you have this can, Alan. That'll be in my package that I'm going to send to you at the end of our season. And that comes up towards the end of July. When is your trip to California, Kenny?
We go for our California trip, Oregon, California, Nevada in July.
Well, that'll be hot, but at least you'll be in a comfortable car and shielded from the elements and enjoying yourself.
Oh yeah, here. Sure is a big difference when you from a car to a motorcycle. You know, you got 4 wheels versus 2. You know, it doesn't matter if it's raining or hot or cold. You know, you're just turning. You have climate control in a vehicle. Nobody should ever complain driving a long distance in a car. You know, if you've ridden a motorcycle, then you know how bad it can be. When the weather is beautiful, it's fantastic. But when the weather sucks, man, oh man, it sucks, and it's dangerous.
Oh, I remember that one trip we came back and we got down that road somewhere near Pierre, South Dakota, and they had completely ripped the road up with heavy equipment, and they said, you can go ahead, but we don't think you'll make it. And it was all covered in clay, and we went through there, and it was as close to the edge as I'd been. That was a sketchy road, but it's not just the road conditions, the weather conditions literally will eat you alive. The good thing is, when you're on a bike, the bugs may be hitting your windshield, but at least you're moving too fast for them to eat you.
Yeah, right now I'm just swatting my forehead. I got my hoodie on. It was beautiful up until about an hour and a half ago, and then all these, I think they're called black flies, they settled in, and man, oh man, and when they bite you next morning, it looks like you're an alien from someplace, because you got all these red dots all over your body.
Yeah, and it looks like you've been punched out if you get enough of them. They do swell up.
Yeah. Just crazy.
I hear you. So our shout out goes to all the listeners and all those people who have been lucky enough to subscribe or forward or send us a note that you want one of these fantastic New York cards. I'm down to just 3 out of the 10 that we had. So there's lots of people with those New York cards. You're included in that too. I think I sent you one as well, Ken.
That's right.
The New York postcard when you were down here. And we heard from Maker Wine. They quite like the pictures of you at the top of the Empire State Building with a can of Maker's Chillable Red.
that was a really nice trip we took to New York to visit you and your family, and we look forward to coming again maybe this fall.
Well, you should consider that, because fall in New York is a wonderful time. Hello to Lorinda. We really appreciated being here, and we are going to take her up on her offer of teaching us how to play cribbage the next time we're here, because that's a game that I've never really learned and I've always wanted to. So when you have somebody here, it'll be so much better than trying to learn it off of YouTube. So until then, also a shout out to one of our producers, James Lockey, who's not far from you in Lac Loup, Ontario, and out on an island enjoying a few cans himself, he said. So cheers, Jamie. And May, appreciate it. Our head scratcher. What classic rock song was frequently played in the late 1980s that referred to the south of France? Vis-a-vis-a-vous. Anybody that can get that certainly spent some time at the city center, or maybe even the what's that one? The Norwood. That's the big Winnipeg one, right? There were all the bands were playing that song, and if you can remember what I said earlier on, bonus and a postcard if you know the name of the band that sang that. So that's our south of France Solis Lumin Rosé wine. Well done. I could drink a case of this stuff very slowly and responsibly, I might add. So okay, Ken, until the next time, we're closing it up here. This is the Canned Wine Podcast, where we open cans of wine and talk about it. Remember to enjoy responsibly, and just because it comes in a can, don't drink and drive or boat and drive. Just chill out on your deck and swat those black flies. Canned Wine is a Center Stage production. All rights reserved.